This is episode 2 of the Not Network podcast with Matthew Melia and me, Jimmy Leach.
Are we using my last name? Is that what we decided?
Do you not want to use your last name?
Is that appropriate? Should we use our last names?
I think so, yeah.
You think so? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be like any other Matthew, in case people know other Matthews.
Some identity thieves.
Exactly.
All right, Matthew Melia it is. I apologize.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we did episode 1, and that was with you, and then we're doing episode 2, and now we're doing kind of a little deep dive into me.
About me with Jimmy. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one, actually. I'm excited for the people to know a little bit more about you.
Sick. I don't know how I feel about that. I like keeping things really kind of private.
Yeah.
Especially with like personal stuff. I like keeping it private.
Yeah.
And what I show on like social media is very I won't even say polished, but it's just kind of like a facet that I'd like to show. If that makes sense.
Yeah, we're totally gonna expose you.
Awesome.
This
nice.
episode. So that's what I'm excited for. You really don't need any introduction. Actually, you totally need an introduction.
Okay. Sweet.
But my introduction to you would be my friend, my roommate, my college buddy.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't it sweet?
So we went to college at Northwest. Shout out to Northwest TCC campus, Tarrant County College.
Yes.
We met in the Cornerstone program. And I just like to say, when we were in I think it was philosophy class, and Mr. Paul Frazier, super dope guy, was saying, everybody introduce yourselves. And we started like getting to know each other. And here I am sitting there with a back brace. We can get that.
We'll get to the back brace.
And I remember distinctly him calling on you, or somehow the trail went to you, and you started talking about yourself. And then you said, I'm a video director at Gateway. And immediately my ears perked up and I looked at you and I was like, I'm going to get to know that guy. I want to know him.
And you did.
Yeah.
Sat right next to us.
So that's the main thing. And then, I think I started talking to you because Joy actually started talking to you.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she started talking to you about faith, and then I just kind of like wiggled in there.
Yeah, you did.
I just kind of wiggled in there. So
yeah,
that's what I remember first meeting you.
I think I remember first talking to you about, we were in history class, which was like our second period of the day. Yeah, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, second.
And I think the first thing we talked about, you were like working on something on your phone or your computer or something, and I asked you about it. I think you were editing a video. It was
really?
I think so. It was like your video from camp. Do you remember that? Or maybe you showed me your video from camp.
Oh my goodness! Wait, this was 2018.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a while back.
Okay.
Yeah, and you were doing that, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in these things of editing.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Were we sitting outside of the room?
No, we were, at first, yeah, and then we moved inside the room and kept talking about it. So, yes, absolutely.
I do remember that.
But, yeah, and then that's where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
But, this week on the podcast, we're going to be talking about you, Jimmy, your plans, your aspirations, passions, and how you're working to achieve them. So, first and foremost, let us start with your origin story. How does Jimmy get here?
So I'm I would say, I like to be known as a generalist, and from the amount of people I talk to when I develop my website, I like to do photography, I like to do editing, I like to do video editing, I like to do a little bit of 3D stuff, so with style frames, and then trying to get into animation, but my computer is a little bit slow, and rendering takes a little while. But I like to do a little bit of everything, and that can hurt me and help me. But so I like to do a little bit of everything, and the way that I kind of developed that was, I think it was actually it was my junior year, and I got super depressed, and I stopped I stopped doing everything. I used to be like, I wouldn't say like a straight A student, but like I was a good student in school. Like I was a nerd. I liked getting in the books. I liked kind of reading and figuring out how to bullshit my way to an A. And then that was me. And then my junior year hit, and I just kind of hit that. I wouldn't say it was even senioritis. I just like I stopped caring. It was
a wall.
Yeah, I stopped caring, and I was like, I need an outlet. I need something. So I remember. It was in my art class, actually. Do y'all have art in your school?
And yeah, in my high school, yeah.
Okay, what kind of arts did y'all have? Because mine was very limited.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually, I'm trying to think. I didn't take like an art class in high school.
Oh, really?
But I feel like fine arts was required.
Uh-huh.
So maybe I took all of the computer science classes.
Okay.
In my school, like everything that was offered, they're called computer intelligence classes or whatever. And every single one that was offered, I took those because that's just what I was more interested in. And probably one of those counted. Digital art. That's exactly what it was. I had a digital art class.
Lucky.
And so, yeah, we learned After Effects and
son of a
Photoshop. But
Oh my goodness.
I know. Okay, it was good. It was nice, but it was very bare bones, basic type of stuff. Like if I open After Effects right now, guarantee I couldn't do a single thing in it.
But you would recognize kind of what it is.
Well, yeah, but I think Adobe's just good about doing that. Like they're good about what's that word?
Formatting, kind of placement.
But yeah, I mean, just making things across all of their different programs.
Yeah. Like kind of similar and easy to use.
Yeah,
absolutely. So when I went to school, my high school provided an art class, and I liked digital media. And since I was a nerd, I liked kind of geeking out over computer stuff. And there was this one artist, Justin Mahler, who I admire incredibly. He started doing this like development of 3D stuff, and I was like, I like that. Like I really like that, and I want to get into it. So in art class, my teacher, she amazing woman, for the sole reason that sometimes I would kind of bullshit a lot. And by that I mean like I didn't do my work and I make a bunch of excuses, and she had so much patience for me, and I knew it angered her, but like I was so like I was depressed, like I was at a super low, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. So I tried to do like some 3D stuff and Photoshop, and my school program didn't have any Photoshop classes. They didn't have any video editing class. They were very low. They had the bar very low for that kind of digital media stuff. So, people were still painting. They were doing figure drawing. They were sketching, and they were doing basically everything except digital art.
Yeah.
And I kept pushing. I remember throughout like my freshman and senior year, I kept pushing for us to get a laptop so we could actually, have the tools to do it. And because we didn't have any of the tools, and so I'd like borrow my teacher's laptop to kind of like mess around with Photoshop and stuff like that. And shout out to her because she was so patient and so what's the word, like giving.
Yeah.
And amazing person. So that's where I started, but I was really eager because like since I wasn't doing anything in school, I really had no academic aspirations. I needed something to occupy myself with. And so what I did was I just I used her stuff, and I bullshitted along. And I remember going on Instagram and finding this guy called Jesse Driftwood, and he made an Instagram story every single day, and they were funny. They made sense. Wow. It was a clear image, and his transitions were completely wacky and fun. And I was like, I want to do that. So I don't know if this is kind of like on the trail, but
keep going.
If you can, connect the dots here. So it was my junior year, and once my junior year finished in high school, I went on this camping trip, 2 weeks in the mountains, backpacking, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring a camera and I'm gonna make some videos. So that's what I did. I did whip transitions. I did the zoom, I did panning and stuff like that. I brought this audio recorder actually, and we did like a little captain's log at the end. Mm-hmm. So I have like a whole kind of media file package of all these memories and stuff, and I held them very near and dear and close, but I loved it. I loved messing with the camera. I love creating that perspective, and I haven't done anything with the footage, but that's where it kind of started.
That's very interesting to me, because I feel like with a lot of artists, we kind of love more of the process sometimes, even more than the product. And exactly what you said, like, I haven't even made anything out of it, but like, you're talking about it because it meant something to you, and it's kind of what brought you into this type of passion and this type of world. So I think that's very amazing. But what was it? Is that what you would say brought you into wanting to do this, the process, or was there something else? Like, what actually brought you into, hey, I kind of want to like actually pursue this with all of me?
Okay, so so once I made that footage and stuff like that, then I started kind of doing the same thing that Jesse Driftwood was doing. So after I got back from camping in New Mexico in the Rockies, I was kind of doing that daily kind of little vlog thing with transitions, and I was trying to make it cute and fun, something that, I don't know, gave me interest, something to do, because since I didn't have anything to do, I was doing something, and I was editing on my iPhone. Actually, it wasn't my iPhone. I had a Droid. I was an Android user.
Really?
Yeah, I've since changed my ways.
Good for you.
For the better.
Yeah, yeah, I'm so happy about that.
So I started editing on my phone, and then once I wanted to up the quality of it, I already had a DSLR. I started recording on there, and then I was like, how do I edit this? What kind of program do I use? So I was online, and Peter McKinnon, Jesse Driftwood, Chris Howe.
Shout out to all those dudes.
Yeah, man. I know, right? They're the, what do they call it? The Dope Squad? I think,
Squad?
Yeah, I think that's what they call themselves in Canada, because they're all they're all Canadians.
Oh man, shout
Such
out to
good people.
Canada too.
Yeah, honestly. So I wouldn't say this was the best thing or the best route, but because I was broken, I had no money, I pirated a version of Premiere from this like Ukrainian website that would crash consistently every single, I think it was 2 weeks. It would crash.
Wow.
I'd like timed it. It was 2 weeks and it crashed. And I didn't really know how to use it, but I could kind of figure it out. Okay, goes by like a layer system. This is the footage. This is the timeline. This is where the effects tab is. And, when I started outputting it, like, everything was de-interlaced. So what that means, like, in old cartoons and TV shows, what they would have is, like, the frames, they weren't, I would say they kind of, the way that it was coded, the way that information was coded, it was kind of like, it had this kind of fragmenting to it, and it looked kind of crappy. But, I'd make these videos with these fragments, and I'd show them to my family, and my family would get like pumped and stuff. I'd make we have this family tradition, being Italians, we would make rice balls on Christmas Eve. I don't know if you've ever had rice balls.
I have had rice balls.
Oh my goodness, dude!
I didn't know that was an Italian thing though. It doesn't seem very Italian.
This is what my Italian family did. I think they did it when they lived in Bohemia.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like this, I don't know, this tradition that developed.
Sure.
And so I made a video about that, and they were all pumped about that.
Oh,
so,
man.
After I started learning like the video stuff, I was like, okay, I kind of want to get into little pictures and stuff like that, learn how to edit Photoshop. But like I said before, my school didn't have the programs or the tools necessary for me to do it. So here, yet again, I pirated Photoshop from a Ukrainian website. And dude, nobody tells you this, but like trying to figure out what these blocks and like these weird symbols mean and copy and pasting them into Google Translator, they don't work. Yeah. So I was trying to like read Ukrainian and then like use it for the Photoshop, and it was just...
So they were different symbols in Ukrainian pirated Photoshop than they are in...
Well, it was like the words like file,
words.
Edit, preferences, and things like that.
Yeah.
So like it was just kind of hard to navigate at first, but I'm so glad I did it, because I didn't have the money, but like I needed to learn these things. Like I knew for me to grow, I needed to learn these things. So I started on that grind, and then I literally I had my USB. I bought a USB stick so I could plug in at school on my teacher's laptop to edit photos, and then I'd go home and I'd plug it in so I could continue editing. And I did this like every single night.
Oh man.
And because I was just trying to learn, it's like when you're in this phase of like, I was trying to get knowledge, and I would search like YouTube tutorials, like how do I do this? What are masks? And I remember when I discovered masks, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is some next level shit.
Game
like,
changing.
I know, dude. It was pretty awesome. So, I guess that's where the passion kind of formulated and developed, and over the years, it's just kind of matured from doing a little bit of everything, because I really feel like, and I think we talked about this with you, is that when I hit a brick wall, I have to stop and be like, okay, I need to reevaluate this. I can't do this right now, but I know I can do it maybe in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something else. Because when I started editing photos, that helped me with video because it was like perspective and like how things were shot and stuff like that. And when
Lighting.
Yeah, exactly. And so it helped me all around. And so when I moved into 3D and sort of kind of like, animation and learning that kind of stuff, it helped me with that too. For instance, like Cinema 4D, used like an Octane render. Octane render, it's a GPU render. It's a graphics processing unit renderer, which means that it goes a lot faster than CPU because it can handle it a lot more. But it's an unbiased render engine. And what that means is that the lighting is unbiased. So it acts like, electrons and photons. Not to get like super technical, but like, how they bounce off things and reflect surfaces. Things like another render is Redshift. That is a biased render. So like if I have a shoe, and somebody recently explained this to me. If I had like a scene with like an object like a phone or a shoe or something, and I was shining a light on it, and I wanted it to affect the object and not the ground, I could do that. I would just tell the light to just reflect on the phone. So, you could create more drama. You can add, it's basically a lot more controllable, but it's a lot more technical too. So in the beginning, getting into an unbiased kind of a real atmosphere, it just helps me link everything together. So when I hit a roadblock, I'll just do something else, and then I improve and kind of build my skills. That's where it started, and that's where it's going right now.
Something interesting you said about like the brick wall and going to something else, like getting into photography helped you with making videos, and then getting into, I'm sure both of those things probably helped with doing Cinema 4D and that type stuff. Yeah. And it seems like people are always talking about diversifying your portfolio. And I know we hear all of this type of
stocks.
Crap. I know. yes, stocks especially, but also just in an industry kind of sense, like your portfolio as in your skill sets. And that's not, I think it's not just for having more things to show off. It's actually to be a learning experience for the things that you do want to be good at. And learning new skills are always very beneficial to you. So I think it's cool that you said that. And I mean, do you even agree?
Yeah, I think, and I think it's a main reason because like I'm young, right?
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, like I'm around like 20% done with my life. I still have like 80% to go. Like I still have a long ways to go. And right now, I think trying things is really great. And the reason I think it kind of developed after kind of hiking in the mountains is because we had a chapel service one of our like second to last day, and it was beautiful. We had the mountains behind us, and then we had like the plains of New Mexico. And our chaplain, the guy who volunteered to do the chapel service, it was about trying new things, and he said, the world is like a big ice cream bucket, and there's all these sorts of things you can do, and the only reason to try it is you have one spoon, and you just gotta take a scoop and try it out. And that's with a lot of things. I remember like when people were saying, when I was like a senior in high school, and when I kind of just got out of high school and other jobs, and I was meeting other young people, they're like, well, I don't really know what my passion is. And I think
so much in high school.
Yeah. I don't know what to do, or when people are looking for college, like I don't know what to do. And it's like the best thing you can do is just go try it. Literally whatever interests you, just in the slightest bit. Because like since I was a nerd and I kind of geeked out over computer stuff, I was like, oh, well, I like pretty pictures too. I like taking photos, and that one thing led to another, and it just kind of built off itself. It stackers. So
I mean, it's just like the old adage: if you want something, work for it.
Yeah.
And it's not always that simple, but I mean, like you're saying, it's very well. I just said it's not very that simple, but it is very simple to just pick something up and just do it. And you know what I hate, Jimmy?
What do you hate?
You know what I hate?
Playing from James's MacBook Pro.
Alexa, shut up.
I hate when Alexa interrupts our podcast.
Honestly,
I think it's number one. I think it's rude.
it is very.
I think
rude.
her dumbass robotic voice needs to just kind of like lay low every once in a while. I don't know if that's misogynistic, but I believe it.
Well, I don't think it's misogynistic because she can talk like Samuel
Is she a
Jackson.
woman? She's meant to be like a woman, but she's a robot. She's AI. She's programmed. She's a computer.
Sorry. What were you saying before she rudely
I
interrupted us?
said, "Do you know what I hate, Jimmy?"
Gotcha. Right. What do you hate?
I hate it when people, and especially, I think this is especially true of photographers in particular, are very protective of their, I guess, position or job, as far as like trying to discourage people maybe who want to get into it, that it's harder than it looks, or it's not as simple as just using your phone. You're not a photographer if you're just using your phone. You need a DSLR, you need this camera, you need that camera, you need these lenses, and if you haven't spent $10,000 on your kit, then you're not taking good enough pictures. That pisses me off because everybody started at that point.
Yeah.
And obviously we are very lucky now to have a device in our hands pointing to my phone that has an insane capability of taking very high resolution, very high quality pictures. We should be able to use that. And I think anyone who is even remotely interested in getting into anything in the creative world, start taking pictures. It's like you're saying, everything leads to another thing. And as one thing starts to lead to another, you start to build that passion, you start to build your skill set, and those things go hand in hand.
Yeah, and like just bringing it back to my high school art teacher, such a great.
What's her name?
I don't know if she wants to be mentioned.
Oh, okay.
But we called her. No, we didn't. We didn't call her anything. We just called her by her name.
Okay.
I thought we had a good nickname. But
let's come up with a nickname so I can shout out.
But what she. Like I said before, we didn't have the tech or anything to learn the devices and stuff like that. And when I hear people like they did, like, oh yeah, I learned After Effects in high school. I'm like, what? Like, you lucky son of a bitch. Like, I had to pirate and I had to learn on YouTube. You know how hard that is? Just trying to find out what you don't know. That's searching for it. So, but what she did, she created a wonderful base project for me. She made us learn the elements of art. So you got form, you got shape, you got color, you got lines, and those, they're the elements of art. So any kind of art has those. And you could say, like, a lot of things are art. You could say, our phones are art. You could say, like, these towels are art. It's because they fit certain criteria that the elements have.
Yeah.
So we learned elements of art, and if you are trying to get into something creative, or you're trying to, learn more and don't know where to start with these bare basics. And I think I might have talked to you, and I've talked to our friend Allie about these things. But start with those elements of art, and then once you've kind of learned those and memorized those, you bring it into the principles of design. And the principles of design are what you can use and manipulate to kind of create emotion, create some sort of kind of rhetoric to convey a story or a narrative. So you got movement, and I'm totally blanking out, you got space, and each of these principles you can combine and mix match them. There's like millions of combinations like you can do in different kinds of mediums. And my teacher, she really set me up, because like she called me out on my bullshit, because like it was like 2 days before the project was due, and she was like, this is terrible. She didn't say that, but she definitely let me know that I see you're trying to be a little hack, and I'm not going to let you do it.
Yeah.
But she knew the delineation for that, so I tried my damnest to, sort of impress her with that sort of thing. But that I completely forgot what your question was. But yeah, taking from even drawing or painting, or sketching, or doing still life sketches. I think that's what it's called, still life, where you like look at something and then you sketch it out.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, still life.
Something like
even
that.
drawing
Sounds
hands.
good.
Yeah. Even drawing hands, like the simplest things. They help you with everything.
Yeah.
And soul. It's like its own little world that, and community and ecosystem that blends and mixes and matches together. So
Yeah.
I think that's
And
really cool.
and guys, like, something that I think everyone should know is that art is like everything, kind of like you're talking about. It can be literally anything, and people who say I'm not gifted in it, or I'm not an artist, I'm not creative, no, that is stupid.
lie.
That
You're
is
lying
a
yourself.
lie. And that is holding you back from whatever you want to do, because I guarantee everything that you do can benefit from being creative and being an artist. And being an artist, like you're talking about being an architect, I don't know, a mechanic. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything. It all.
Being a cook.
A cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of creative fields, a main thing is called experimentation. I work at this yogurt shop, and right next to our yogurt shop, we got this pizza place. And shout out to Beck the cook.
Shout out to Beck.
He makes pizza, but I talked to him because I'm trying to cook some, or I'm trying to make some pizza with bake. You don't bake pizza. What do you do with pizza?
Could you say you bake it? Yeah, you bake pizza.
You bake pizza?
Yeah, bake a pizza. Yeah.
All right,
It
well,
doesn't sound right.
I
though,
throw it
does
in. Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
You cook a pizza, I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay. Well, whatever I do
Doesn't
with
sound
pizza, like I make it.
created
And he said a big thing is just trying out new things. Like I after my shifts, sometimes I go and talk to him, and he's so willingly giving with the information. Some people like to retain it so they can, because I guess they're insecure of the fact that if somebody knows their secrets, that they will get better than them.
Job security. And that's what I was
Job
talking about
security.
with photographers and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, no, it's not as simple as just picking up a phone. No.
Yeah.
You need the stuff that I have.
Mhm.
It's not true, guys. But yeah, continue.
With the job security, and so that's what I really appreciate about like things like YouTube, is that it's for the people who are trying to help other people learn, because that information, it's kind of in a closed community, but now it's like everywhere. Now everybody can learn it. And so what he was talking to me about is like experimenting. Oh, maybe the crust needs a little bit more salt, or the dough needs a little bit more salt. Maybe add some garlic. Okay, maybe the sauce. Maybe add some celery, add some carrots. Or if maybe that really doesn't do a lot, or take out the acidity, or let this sauce like cook for 3 hours on a low heat, just for the flavors to really come out and stuff like that. So half of it is a bunch of experimentation. Like you said, like it can develop into everything. And people who say like they're not creative, like that's just a little bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think creativity is an outlet of communication. And I have the emotional intelligence of a crayon.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about that part, but
next question. No, I'm just kidding.
so like because I have that like low EQ, it's hard for me to talk in words. So when I create something or try to convey an emotion, having that kind of outlet really just helps my psyche and my conscience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
kind of went off on a tangent, but
Hey, we're all about tangents here.
love it.
We're all about
You're
tangents.
so
That's
kind,
tagline
dude.
number 3. So, something I've noticed about you, and I think we talked about this a little bit in my interview last week, but every time I walk by your room, I see you
Oh no.
on the computer, not wasting your time, not gaming hard, but creating something. So, my question to you is, as a creator, creating things every single day, it seems like, almost nearly every day,
Yeah.
how do you avoid getting burnt out?
No.
And why is it important to keep creating even on days where you do feel uncreative, where you do feel burnt out?
Yeah, that's a really important question, and I think a main thing is balance, and this is coming from the person who has absolutely no balance. I overindulge so much on so many aspects of my life, but I think it's the pursuit of creating that balance of being a little bit self-aware, because I think I remember in 2018, in January specifically of 2018, like literally when the new year hit, or maybe a day after, I had an anxiety attack, and I've never had those. And when I used to hear when people have anxiety attacks, I was like, ugh, pussy.
Get over, rub some dirt on it.
I know, honestly. But when it happened to me, I was like, holy shit, like this is a real thing. And that's because like I was doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing. and just kind of wasting my time and feeling very, very empty. But the fact of it is that like it was kind of like I was overindulging in some things, and I wasn't focused. So I guess the main thing about being burnt out is kind of recognizing where you are and what you need. And so since I know at this stage in my life I'm fairly young, I fairly have the energy, I definitely have the time for it. It's just the only missing piece of the puzzle is the discipline to put in the work, because I want to get somewhere, right? And you know, I don't have like a specific goal, but I know that somewhere is not right here. So I'm trying everything I can to get out of right here, so to get to that somewhere. And that sounds like really abstract and vague. And I know that's
actually,
like
no,
it
makes a lot of sense, because I feel like a lot of people kind of think of art as like very, I don't know, it's stigmatized as very free spirited and free thinking, and it's kind of like abstract, like you're talking about, and it just kind of like comes about on a whim, and it came in a dream on a white horse.
Ooh.
But it's like, how do you think having a regiment, like doing a video every single day or doing a subject for a month straight, do you think that's important in creating as well?
That's interesting. So what I do, I don't consider art at all, and that's because art is like the expression and, you know, way to communicate. What I do is like you were saying, like art is very free spirited, and it's kind of like, you know, it ties you into person. I think I probably made maybe 3 in the past 2 years works of art that I consider art, which is weird because I try to grind, you know?
Yeah.
But what I do is I grind for a specific reason, okay? I want to know how to use gradients. I want to know how to use this certain texture. I want to, you know, make this certain camera movement, and I give myself goals to then implement. And then I try my best to try to close that gap on the goals. And so, you know, once I've done that, then I don't consider it art. I consider it kind of like design, where, you know, because since I want to make this a career, I try to put myself in the shoes of, if somebody gave me an idea and said, you need to bring this to fruition, then I need to kind of empathize and put myself in their shoes and be like, okay, what do they need? What do they want? And sometimes my desires of what I think looks good and what they want are two completely different things.
100%.
I haven't done much client work, but I did this one guy's logo, and I was like, he said he just wants like a typeface, like type, like a literal letter for his logo, and he already found the logo, and he's just like, I just need it in a format. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was stressing over it for like 4 days because I did it like 20 minutes. It took me 20 minutes to do all the formatting and stuff like that. But then I was like, you know what? I don't feel like he'd like this. So then I spent 3 days stressing myself out, contacting one of my friends in Canada. She goes to school and university to design, and like I'm talking to her. I was like, does this look good? Can I use this? Can I incorporate this? And she's like, I guess. And you know, I was stressing myself out, and when I gave him I think I gave him three projects, he was like, I'll take the one that I wanted. And I was like, okay, that works. But it was weird to me, because when you're given a brief, it's not necessarily like, how can you express yourself?
Yeah. But
you know, what can you do to get from point A to point B for them? And that's what I want, and that's what my career is kind of mainly about, is can you listen to the brief, and can you do it without getting sidetracked? And I'm a scatterbrain. I get sidetracked a lot, so that's very, very hard for me. So I want to practice that. I think my main issue is timing. Really? Timing's very hard for me.
Time management
is very, very hard for me.
I feel the same way.
Yeah?
I feel the same way. Yeah,
I feel like a lot of it's discipline, and
definitely.
I definitely, from the past like 3 weeks, not to get too personal, but I've been off the horse. I got this guy Jesse. Shout out to Jesse.
Man.
He sometimes like calls me in the morning like super early, like, you up? are you working out right now? And I'm like super groggy. I'm like,
you've got an accountability,
no.
buddy.
Yeah, and that's super super important, especially when you're trying to do like disciplinary things. Yeah. That's why I think waking up's like pretty important. That's why I'm a morning person, but I don't like waking up early. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like this weird juxtaposition.
It's a little backwards,
yeah. But and it starts like at the beginning of the day, you know. You have discipline for that, then I can have discipline for the brief, discipline for the job that I want to do.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I totally forgot the question that you asked.
Well, regimented and like creating every single day.
Yeah.
Do you think a regiment?
I've only done that once. I think that's very important,
yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's better to learn the program and learn how to deal with people. Mm-hmm. Maybe practice those soft skills because those hard skills will come because you have an innate passion for it, or at least I have an innate passion for it. So really focusing on those, I would say, soft skills is kind of important. But I've only done dailies for like 30 days for like one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've fallen off the horse a lot. A lot of it's trial and error.
Yeah.
But it's good. That's a good way to have a daily deadline, I'd say. If you want an exponential kind of growth, if you're just starting out, do dailies. And then, you know, I think if you feel like you know the program or, you know the tool set very well, then you can start like honing in on specifics.
But yes or no, do you not consider all of those art for yourself?
No.
Would you, if I did it, would you consider them all art?
I would.
So okay, so why are you different? Why are you discounting your own creations?
That's weird. I think a main reason is because like maybe other people consider it art because like, you know, I post on Instagram, but I guess I don't consider it art because like I don't really broadcast my intention for it. But what I keep to myself, my intention for it is, like I said before, like I'm trying to get a job done. So like I remember when I first created like the first thing in Cinema 4D where I was like, wow, that looks cool. I have no idea how I did that, but that's dope. And then like I tried to build off from there. Okay, so how can I recreate this lighting? How can I recreate this, you know, this Verneuil fracture kind of cloner kind of entity, and then I work from there. But that's like, in my mind, that's my intention. And so to me, it's not a self-expression. It's more of like, how can I get the job done from what I want to learn? And then I guess from an outside perspective, it'll be considered art. Because I know why you're asking this question, or I think I know why you're asking this question, because I posted one of the dailies that says, I'm not an artist. It was titled that, and it had my favorite president, shout out to Theodore Roosevelt Jr. Teddy Roosevelt. Wait, is he Theodore Roosevelt Jr.?
I don't know if he was a junior. There was another Roosevelt.
There was
another Franklin Delano. And he was much
Roosevelt.
later.
Okay, so there was no junior. So
I don't think he was a junior.
Gotcha. So Teddy.
Delano might have been a junior.
Who?
Delano might have been a junior.
Who's Delano? Was that his kid? Teddy's kid?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Oh.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Was he a junior?
I think so.
I feel like for some reason he was a junior, but I don't think Teddy was a junior.
Who does Joe Rogan have to check his facts? We need one of them. What's his name?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about,
right?
I
know exactly what you're talking about. Jamie.
We need Jamie.
Jamie, Google that. Jamie. Yeah, we need a Googler and a monitor. But I fervently disagree with you. I think...
Oh, no.
Yeah, I absolutely do, because I think, for example, how many times have you heard an artist, especially a songwriter or a singer, say, my favorite song that I've ever put out is not my most popular song?
Yeah.
You've heard that, yeah. Right?
What's the correlation?
So, like, you're saying, you said, and I will quote, I think I have made about 3 works of art over the past 2 years, even though you've probably made... Well, you have made dozens.
Over 10, yeah. Dozen. Okay, dozens.
Over 10, yeah, Patrick. Yeah, you have made over 10. You have done dozens. Dozens. Tens.
Okay.
And they're all art. Because I have liked a lot more than 3, and they've made me feel something and made me think and resonate something within me, whether you think so or not. And your intention for them, I don't give a shit about the intention. You know?
Yeah. I see that perspective, and I think it just becomes from two different points of view. Because from my point of view, like I have, like I said, like a different goal for it. But when you're looking at it, you're scrolling through Instagram and you're saying, "Oh shit, that looks dope.
That's cool.
Let me double tap that."
Yeah, and that's what it is, bro.
Yeah. Well, for you, that's what it is. But for me, it's
so
like
when
a
you're
goal.
scrolling through Instagram and you see, a new Calip photo come out, okay?
Yeah.
Shout out to Calip. He's actually
Yeah.
going to be on in the next few weeks,
Yeah.
which is pretty exciting. I'm excited for that.
Me too.
Okay, but for example, you see his and you're like, and it makes you stop.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Oh shit! I think that's art, but like I have no
So
idea.
you just don't think you're good enough to be considered art? Is that what it is? I want to get to the bottom of this because this is effed up.
Maybe that's some of that imposter syndrome. But
That's exactly what it is, Jimmy.
Maybe. Okay, because that's
You
a good
are
point.
an artist.
Because when I look at like Calip stuff, like it brings me an emotion because like his looks ethereal. It looks like something from when I'm dreaming, and I discover like something just great. It's okay, and he also brings in. For those of you who don't know who Calip is, he's this super talented Photoshop kind of Adobe master. I'd call him a master.
I'd call him a master.
I don't know. Maybe
I'd call him a grand. I wouldn't call him a grand wizard. That wouldn't be smart to do that.
Why not? Oh, because a wizard means that they pee themselves. Is that what?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, I mean,
I wouldn't want him to pee himself.
Yeah, I think he's pretty legendary.
I think so too.
I think, and I think he definitely created kind of a vibe. What's that word? A style. He definitely fabricated a style. Much like Mishko. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I think so.
It's pretty cool. I'll show you some of the stuff later. But Calip's created a sort of style, and like a dreamscape style, and it also incorporates like memories that everybody of sort of like American culture. So he'll do like TV shows and kind of memes or something, and that's why I think like his is like art. I have no idea what he thinks about his art, but like that's why I look at his as something to like aspire to.
You don't care about his intention.
Like I don't, because I have a different point of view.
But it's still art.
It's still art for me. It's art. Because I'm getting an emotion, but when I create something, it's not.
And for me, it's art.
Okay, yeah, I guess we can agree to disagree.
Yo, you.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's because it's work to me. And I want this to be like a sort of career, to something to go into, whether that making style frames, and I can't look at it as I can't look at it to be a self-expression, because I'm going to be doing it for somebody else, and it's going to be their expression to create, a marketing, marketing or like a brand or something. And that's why I don't see it as art, because for me, I'm trying to create my own brand, my own style. But to do that, I have to go through an insane amount of work to do that. And it's work, not fluffy.
But that's not why you started doing it. You didn't start doing it because you're like, this is the career path that I want to do.
True.
I want to make X amount of money doing this and support my wife and kids. It's like you did it because you found a passion for it and you found it interesting. That's what art is, bro.
Yeah. When I first started each program, like that's what it was. Like, because I was just trying to, when you get emotions tied into things, you become more, passionate about them. And so I want to become passionate about this because, I want to like what I do. So I think I kind of psych myself out by incorporating those emotions in the beginning. So it bolsters me for the future.
From James's MacBook Pro.
Alexa, I swear.
Man.
She's
on my last nerve, dude.
I know. Let's put her on mute. Just...
Yeah, quiet you.
Here we go.
No, at some point the robots are going to be mad that
we put
we're
her
able
on
to mute them.
Yeah.
At some point that's going to happen.
They're going to listen to this podcast
that.
and they're going to be like...
But wait, what? You're going to get canceled. And I bet in 20 years, future Jamie's going to get canceled for silencing Alexa.
Yeah, that'd be very offensive to the robots.
I think so.
Fuck it. Screw them.
Same.
I just put a hit on myself.
Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
I try not to think about it.
But if you were, in theory, to think about it, where do you see yourself? Where would you like to see yourself?
I really dislike thinking about it. And the reason I say that is because, like, in my past, like, you know, my mom, who's one of my main, what is it?
Role models?
Role models. There we go. My mom's like a big role model for work ethic. She would always talk to me about, you know, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And so my uncle, too.
Bit of a cliche.
Shout out to Uncle Ali.
Shout out to Uncle Ali.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he doesn't know it, but I admire him a lot if he listens to this podcast. But they both asked me, you know, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? And I think that's really good to think about. But right now, I don't want to be bogged down with a far out goal, because for me that's far out. I think I like to keep it very broad, and so I guess, what is it, 20 years you said?
20 years.
Shoot, I'd be 40.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's over the hill,
that's
bro.
old. That's old. So I don't know. I'd see myself. I can't. I can't imagine it, because right now I want to be not traveling the world, but I'd say I'd rather be in a not stable position of home where I have the ability to do the work I want to do, so that if that requires me traveling, that'd be in trouble. But, you know, if I was 40 years old, I'd at least like to have a home in a state that doesn't have any state tax income. Shout out to Texas.
Shout out to Texas, bro. No
Dude,
state income tax.
A little pause. I love Texas.
Ow. Yeah, moment of silence.
I love Texas, dude. Such a great place to live in. You know, we have like the second biggest economy in the U.S. Well,
yeah.
From when I researched it in 2019. Mm-hmm. So we're in a prime time of our lives.
Absolutely.
And especially, like, you know, like you said before, we can take pictures like on our phone or something with technology,
take it,
innovation.
edit it, upload it, boom.
Yeah. Prime time of our lives. And that's the main reason, like, I want to capitalize on this opportunity to just kind of, like, you know, do everything I can, you know, taste as many flavors of ice cream as I can, like the analogy I said before.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess in 20 years from now, I'd have that option of, like, you know, I'd be like, you know, I've been doing this for like 20 years or something, and be like, you know what, maybe I want to learn to be a mechanic or something. Yeah. Or maybe I want to do something else. I want to have the freedom, the liberty to choose what I want to do, I guess, in 20 years. So whatever that may be. But, you know, I think style frames and animation, motion design is pretty dope.
I think so too.
So I fuck with it.
I think 20 years from now, I don't want to look back on my present self right now and think, like what you're saying, I wasted this time.
Keep going.
I wasted. He just reached over me and grabbed his notebook, his trusty notebook that he keeps in his pocket at all times, which makes me nervous. Am I being quoted? Who knows? You might get a big tattoo right there on your ham hock there.
Oh my goodness!
You never know. You never know when Jimmy's gonna just go and come with a tattoo.
Yeah.
Of a quote.
Finish. Oh shit!
But 20 years from now, I don't want to look back for the 20 previous years of my life and say, I didn't do enough, or I somehow wasted an opportunity or didn't chase an opportunity enough. So I want to encourage you personally, Jimmy, and you who are listening, if you are young or if you are whatever age, like whatever age you are is the age you are right now. This is your present self, and this is the time that you can now start to chase after what you want to chase after. It is never too late. It's never too early.
I think that's really important. It's never too early.
Yeah.
Because people wait for, like, oh, let me do a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
When New Year's comes. No, fuck it. Do a New Year's resolution right now. Right? Forget what is it?
It's
freaking November 5th, 2020.
Dude.
Start right now.
Right now. Whenever you're listening to this. Whenever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I hate that.
Seriously. So I don't ever want to look back on my past self and say I didn't do enough, and I don't want you to ever look back. Anyone who's listening, don't look back and say I wish do enough. I wish I had done this when I was young.
I don't really even have that many regrets, because I don't like to think that, you know, I make make regrets, which is kind of stupid, but
Yeah.
everybody does.
Jimmy's actually perfect. Little did you guys know he's a
Low-key,
spotless
though.
lamb. Yeah.
I know, right? But I think I planted a little seed the other day in the ground. I gave it some water, and then it just sprouted with you just saying that, because
Really?
we did a podcast, a few days ago, a recording session that sadly was not recorded.
Yeah, we did the whole thing, and then we
Hour
were
and a
like,
half.
awesome job, guys. And we checked the mic, and it was like, not recording. That was a blast. It was a good trial run. It was a dry run.
Yeah, the people there were really patient with my recording skills. But anyways, I said the other day, a quote from Echo Charles. I listen to the Jocko podcast, and I think it's a dope podcast to listen to, especially
Shout out to Jocko Willing.
about discipline. Yeah, is Echo Charles said, "I don't want to miss the old days when I was capable because I gave it up to be more comfortable." And so it's like it's truth. It's like, do it now. Like, do it right now, because because time is something that we're never going to get.
Yeah.
And it scares me.
It's always going.
I hear people talking about, like, man, don't you feel like old or something? I like to listen to a lot of old people, because it makes me think that, like, right now is, like, the best time to do anything. Mm-hmm. But they're like, man, I feel so old. Like, I remember being young. Life just went in the blink of an eye.
Flashes you by.
And so if it's going in the blink of an eye, well, I need to get my, I need a fire under my ass to start
you better
moving.
act like it.
Yeah, to start being intentional and not being very in the wind with thoughts and ideas. And so that's why I think it's ironic that you brought that up.
Bro, this is like, I'm kind of feeling, we're kind of motivating ourselves right now.
Dude.
I'm kind of feeling a little
my
bit
goodness.
motivated, a little bit jived right now.
So like, dude, you're pumping me up.
Bro,
but
I
if
kind of
I'm
want to do
pumping
some
you up,
push-ups after we turn off this mic right now.
I got a pull-up bar. We're going to do some
Yeah, we're going to do some pull-ups as soon as we finish. But before we do that...
No towels. We're going to get some callus, okay? We're going to get some callus on our hands.
Yeah. We need to suffer a little bit.
Yes.
Because now we're capable.
Hell yeah.
Using those pads is comfortable for me, but
Exactly.
I am capable. I can do it.
Yes,
Man.
you can.
Oh my gosh. Has there ever been a time, Jimmy, where you have wanted to quit?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I have quit on a lot of things. There's just some.
I mean, like, throw in the towel. This is too difficult. I'm not going to be able to make a career out of this. I won't make enough money. I won't be able to support my family.
Career
It's too
specifically?
hard. I want to give up on it. I'm going to go back to school and get a business degree.
So I don't think, I don't have a family, so my personal responsibility is, lie on me. And this is really something unhealthy, is that I don't treat myself with a high priority. I usually treat the people around me with a higher priority. And that's to do with a little bit with other things. But what was the question? I'm just kidding. I remember. So I think with actually no, wait, what was the question?
Have you ever considered quitting?
Quitting.
Has there ever been a time that you have wanted to quit?
Sorry, I just kind of went to an emotional downhill.
Yeah, you almost
right
dug
there.
up those feelings, but you had to push them right back down
I
again.
had to suppress them. Okay, so have I ever felt like one? Yeah, like all the time, like daily, like today, like I work at a yogurt shop and there's so much candy there, and I had a moment of weakness, and I was like, because I try to not eat candy because it makes me feel like shit, and so after I had one bowl of yogurt, 6 Kit Kats, 3 Snickers, a Reese's bar, some Heath bars, just to mention a few, I felt terrible, and I wanted to just collapse right there.
Yeah.
And so I kind of did collapse until people started walking in the store, and I sucked in my gut and puffed out my chest, and I was like, dude, what up? Let's get some yogurt today. How can I help you? Hey, I'm malicious today. How many bowls do you want for yogurt? But, oops, I don't know if I could say I'm malicious. Too late.
Our sponsor for today.
Yeah, so, all the time I feel like quitting, but that's the thing about doing hard things. Chuck Norris wrote a book about hard things. I think the book is called Do Hard Things.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about hard things, is that they're difficult for a reason, and you need to have the mental strength to kind of overcome it. And I think I'm a pretty mentally weak person, and
You think so?
I think so because, in my perspective, people my age are doing a lot more grander things, and I'm like, you know what, I can do that too. And so maybe I'm lying to myself, and maybe I lie to myself on purpose that I'm mentally weak, but I think I am mentally weak in the stage where I want to be, and I'm not trying to compare myself to other people, but where I want to be. So to, close the gap, it's all about closing the gap, pushing the needle a little bit further. I do hard things, and I think that builds off of each other. And I think that goes back to like being burnt out and stuff. Because when I do artistic stuff, well, you know what? Sometimes I do get burnt out on that. So let me invest in myself. Let me read a bit. Let me dive into somebody else's story. Great stories to read are actually people who were alive, like autobiographies.
Yeah.
Malcolm X is a great book to get just fucking stoked by. Steve Jobs, I'm about to read his autobiography. Kurt Vonnegut.
Who was that?
He's an amazing author. Amazing author. Slaughterhouse-Five, my cousin Nick recommended that to me. And he's like, you got to read this. I was like, I'm a sophomore reading Animal Farm. But that just amped up my stoke and made me want to read more. And so I guess reading more and diving into other people's stories gives me a new perspective, a new point of view about how to develop story. And so that, that can help me out. So that helps me not be burnt out and maybe working out, maybe running. Because I don't like to run, but I know running is good for me. And I know improving on my running will help me improve on my mental strength. So when I have a client brief, and like I said before, briefs are really hard for me to focus. So if I have the mental strength to do, one thing, like say running, I ran 5 miles today, or I ran 5 miles, or I ran 6 miles the next day. And, seeing that growth and proving it to myself, I can prove it to myself in the brief for my work or for, personal things. So, I think, like I said, it kind of, builds off of each other. And doing as much as you can right now, because I'm capable, helps me in the long run.
I love it.
That was a lot of information.
No,
but yeah.
It's great information.
Thank you.
And you know what? We're learning a little bit about Jimmy.
Getting learned.
That's what we want, man. Oh. Learn a little bit about your hosts of the Not Network podcast.
This is a scary place to get inside my mind, though. Oh, one person compared to me. I remember in high school that he had good intentions by this, but I took it the wrong way at the time. He said, "There's the box, thinking outside of the box and in the box. People like to think in the box, right? Yes. Then there's outside of the box, okay. Then there's kind of like the circle of knowledge, right? And then there's space." I'm on a 3D axis over here. So I'm thinking way out of the box, out of the circle. I try to extrapolate, things and stuff like that. And I think that's a testament. I try to strive for that now, to just try to come at it at a different angle. Because a lot of people like to hit the same thing. But if we incorporate a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little zest to it.
Yeah.
I like zest. I like
That's
spice.
why we say everything needs creativity. Think outside the bun. Taco Bell. That used to be their slogan. Think outside the bun.
I really don't eat at Taco Bell.
They were just sick. They were so sick of people. McDonald's is the best fast food restaurant. No. Taco Bell said, shut up. You're a sheep. Bah! You're a sheep. Stop eating hamburgers and come eat basically a hamburger and a tortilla.
Do you like Taco Bell?
Idiot. I used to.
Used to.
Now I sure don't, because you know what they did? And I know that you're not a fan of Taco Bell because you don't know why I don't eat there anymore.
I just can't eat Mexican food. It's just the thing about it.
I'm just going to act like that didn't happen. But I used to eat there all the time, consistently, because they were pumping out new items using the same 4 ingredients that they always use, but they were always really great, I thought, and very cheap, which was awesome. And then they were like, you know what we should do? Let's come out with a new thing where instead of actually adding a new item to the menu, we take away all of our most popular items plus an entire one of our 6 ingredients, the potato.
They took out the potato?
Just, anything with potato.
Oh, man.
And not going to cap, they had like good, crispy seasoned potatoes. And I was like, okay, that's strike 1, 2, and 3. and,
All
two
at
technical
once.
fouls, you're out.
Yeah.
I just mix two sports, but that's okay. My point is, think outside the bun, think outside the box. Yes, we should always try to be creative. Speaking of creativity,
Nice segue.
I want you to explain this tweet because I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a recurring segment on the Not Network podcast, stolen directly from Sean Evans and the Hot Ones. I know you stole it.
Oh, I so did.
100%. But yeah, Sean Evans, he's a pioneer. Well, no,
I'm glad you
a
recognize
pioneer, but
that.
He's great.
Oh, yeah. He's
Explain
an
it.
OG.
I mean, it's literally the name. Explain this tweet. Explain that gram.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Evans is so much better than us. But on August 17th of this year, at 6:22 p.m., you said, "I want a shirt that says it's okay to flail your arms."
Did I say shirt or mug?
Oh, no, you said a shirt. You want a shirt that says it's okay to flail your arms, and you received one like.
I wonder who liked me. Oh, that's probably Jordan.
It was in reply to some merch, I guess.
Some Jordan Orm. So Jordan Orm, he's super stellar dude, and I think we gave a little shout out to him last podcast, dude.
Maybe
I
think so.
love his flow. Number one. Number two, he makes these YouTube videos, and at one of the end of the videos, he just had like some stellar confidence and started dancing and busting some moves, dude. And the move was he's just vibing, and he said, you know what? Sometimes I forget the quote, but it was something along the lines of, "It's okay to flail your arms and dance." And I was like, dude, I respect the fuck out of you because I can't dance worth shit, and I just flail my arms. So I just kind of like bonded with him over that one little comment, and I respect just kind of like being yourself on the dance floor, because you have impeccable dance moves.
I do.
I think that's stellar, and I took a dance class.
You did. I have a picture of that.
No, you don't. That's so cringy.
It's hysterical.
It's so
you're like
bad.
on the floor, like it looks like you're like a toddler trying to learn how to walk. It's hysterical. Hopefully that gets leaked on the internet
on my
one day.
OnlyFans.
I'll make
What?
What? Did somebody say something?
I think I just choked.
I think
Sorry.
so. Are you okay?
No.
I didn't think so.
Go on.
Anyway, another one. October 10th, 2019.
There's another one. Okay.
At 5:30 p.m., quote, "The realest things happen spontaneously," end quote, hyphen, Matthew Melia. You quoted me.
That was you, yeah.
You quoted me.
I
Why?
have no idea what...
You got 6 likes on that, a world record.
Well, it's because my pin. It's my pin tweet, so I think...
I don't care.
I think it was...
6 likes is
I
6
think it
likes.
was your girlfriend, and then...
Probably myself.
Earns. You have not liked it. You have not liked it, which is very
All right,
surprising.
I'm going to go like it right now.
Go like that tweet right now.
Correction, 7 likes. Explain this tweet.
So, I don't know. I think we were in the car, and we were talking about something, and you just said that, and I couldn't tell if it was sarcastic or not, but, like, I was like, damn, that hit deep. A lot of things are pre-planned. I like pre-planned things because I'm such a spaz, and everything that's spontaneous about me is literally spaz and very emotional. And so, like, but that's just real. That's just the gritty me.
It is.
And when you plan things out, I mean, that's good. Like, let's have a general plan, but let's make the most of it, like, spontaneous. Because, like, I think that maybe let's get deep a little. But, like, since we're only on this earth for a limited amount of time, why spend most of it doing things that we don't want to do? So let's be real. Let's be ourselves. And that doesn't mean, like, be an asshole if you think, oh, I'm a jerk. That's my that's my most authentic self. No, like, you're being stupid. Like, just be goofy.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to be goofy.
Hey, man, time does nothing but fly, so we might as well fly with it.
Nice. I think that's going to become my next pin tweet.
Oh, yeah? I hope that one gets 1 to 7 likes, because I just came up with that.
I
That was
know.
pretty clever.
You have this innate ability to make these impactful.
You know, in high
little
school,
phrases.
I was voted most likely to be a wise man.
Really? I think you're a wise guy.
Oh, I'm a wise guy, huh? I'm a wise guy.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, I would just like to shout you out, Jimmy.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to Jimmy, everybody. Shout out
It's a
to
slow
Jimmy,
clap
man.
that just makes it.
Because
You know what? No, shout out to you.
no,
Shout out to Matthew.
No, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
No, shout out to you because you're a grinder, and I respect grinders, man.
I think you're a grinder.
I want to expose you. I told you were going to get exposed on this, and I want to expose you for the freaking artist that you are.
You look at my body language.
You're
so,
uncomfortable.
I'm
You're
so
so
uncomfortable.
incredibly uncomfortable
I'm
because
so uncomfortable right now.
you're a behind the scenes kind of guy. This is your timeline now.
Thank you.
And
Oh,
I'm
shut up.
editing it.
Oh, so nice. You're
I'm
so
clipping
kind.
it.
You're so kind, dude.
Yeah. Shout out
I'm
to
flattered.
@riggedpie
Yeah.
on Instagram.
So
Big shout out.
I think that that concludes our podcast. And
Yes, it
if
does.
you want to support the podcast, go to my website, riggedpie.com. There's going to be a podcast tab. You click on it. There's going to be an Amazon affiliate link. You just click on that, and you don't have to buy anything. But if you are going to buy something, go through that link because we get sponsored a bit.
Yes, it helps out just a little teensy bit.
Just a little bit.
Lets
It doesn't
us do
cost,
a little more of
yeah.
these.
It doesn't cost you anything, but click that link, and I'll put that in the show notes. And but visit Matthew's page at MJMelia06. Is that it?
01.
Oh,
I know my email is 06. I shouldn't have said that. At Yahoo.
yeah.
Ah.
There you go. I got him.
Hotmail.
Okay, so Matt MJMelia
01
01
on
the
Instagram.
gram
The gram. Check us out.
at Rigged
Rigged
Pie
Pie.
on the gram.
Thank you so much, Jimmy, for letting me make you a little bit uncomfortable, shining the light on you a little bit. That origin story. Mwah,
You know
mwah.
what?
2 chef kisses for that.
We should have maybe a little questionnaire. If you want to ask us questions, DM us on Twitter
A Q&A.
or tweet us. Tweet us at Rigged5. What's your tag?
MJ Amelia 06.
06.
Fuck.
Oh, you-
No, I got it wrong. MJ Amelia 01. 01
Wait a second.
on Instagram.
We're gonna have a Not Network.
We will be having a
social-
Not Network Twitter, a Not Network Instagram,
Oh
and
shit! Are we doing another one? Doing Snapchat.
we don't need a Facebook. We don't need a
don't.
Snapchat either.
I think that's good enough.
Yeah.
Let's keep it at 2.
Twitter,
Let's keep it
Twitter and
simple.
Instagram.
Okay, so yeah, just tweet us at the
Yeah, Not Network Podcast.
Sweet.
Love it, man.
And our sponsor today is Anchor.
Anchor.
Go if you like creating podcasts or anything like that sorts, and if we've motivated you just to talk and ramble on, go do it. And also tweet us if you are, so we can listen too.
Yes.
Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Whew. What a great episode. This was a blast. I'm excited for the weeks to come. We've got some big things coming up. We're going to be talking about... we're just going to be talking about all sorts of
fucking
stuff.
rocket ship.
Oh, rocket.
Blast. That's where I got that from. It's a blast.
Oh.
Ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't follow.
SpaceX. I know. That's what I do. I'm on the 3D
You're on
axis.
another level.
I'm
Yep.
out of
You're
there.
out. You're outside of the
I'm out of
bun.
there. Sometimes I have to come in so I can.
Get on my level.
I know.
Yeah.
Because your level is pretty high too.
Wait. Okay. Yeah.
It's
Yep. That's what I was
it's
going to say.
extraordinary.
Well, thank you for tuning in. Please tune in next week. Thank you so much for giving us a
Please
little
do.
bit of your time.
Love time.
And please, please remember, we are not networking. We're making friends.
That was good.
Have a beautiful week.
Later, skater. Later, skater. Later, skater. Later, skater. Later, skater.